studying bones, we look at the shape of the bones. And we look at the movement of the bones. And we ask, why is it shaped this way? And why does it move this way? And what function created this form? And so we're looking at structure as a way of understanding function. And then we look at function and see, is that a reflective of that shape? Or is it putting stress on that shape? So just what Amy was saying is looking at and comparing. When you look at the forearm, the ulnar is big at the elbow, but it's small at the wrist. The radius is small at the elbow and big at the wrist. Function progresses developmentally from proximal to distal. So I love this, that this means that the ulnar must be more proximal than the radius, because the ulna carries the elbow and the radius carries the hand. And what a wonderful, whoever thought of this is really, really cool, because if you put the radius at the bottom, think of what would you do with these hands if they weren't wrapped? Our hand would be down on the floor while we're standing. You know what I'm saying? So wrapping this into a spiral is brilliant. Now, when you start the movement at the wrist, not in the wrist bones, which we'll look at in a few minutes, but you started at the inferior radial ulnar joint, either through the radius moving or the ulna moving. Feel the difference between initiating it here, not in the wrist bones, but in the forearm distal joint, and the proximal radial ulnar joint. So here I'm going to move my radius. It's the more common movement. I'm going to hold this big elbow here is the ulna. And I'm going to feel that I start here and see how far I go for now.
When you say start here.
Initiate. I'm going to initiate at the superior radial ulnar joint.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to initiate it at the lower, the distal joint.
Still of the ulna.
It's still of the radius. I'm still initiating in the radius. Then I'm going to come and I'm going to initiate the ulnar at the lower. And then I'm going to initiate the ulnar at the upper. So there are 4 possibilities here. Again, we're at mobility and stability, Rajasic and Tamasic. And feel with what is your pattern. I'm going to ask that you leave your humerus next to your body so that it doesn't go into your shoulder. So you're just looking at your forearm. So you're not creating the space, which the ulnar will do, and some of you already are doing that. But to open the forearm and the hand, it's helpful to do below the elbow before you add the elbow. The same way we spent a lot of time below the knee before we went